stomach.
Not if he's all over New York City. I mean, that's a lot.
Okay, what I missed.
No slut shaming.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed a lot.
This is a reference that I don't get anymore.
I too am out of the loop, so I think it's just those two
Okay.
having a moment.
Then I don't feel as bad.
Alright,
Okay.
so a combination of moving as stealthily as possible while keeping my eyes open to make sure I'm not walking into an ambush.
Okay.
Trying to
I missed a
find
lot. What are these?
All you really missed is that you are now in a giant cavern.
Okay.
Jim Jar and Damikos are having their bet, and there is one dark mantle in front of you, or that you've seen move, but is now stopped and looks indistinguishable from a stalagmite. Damikos has the lovely idea that there are probably more of them hiding amongst all of the stalagmites in this room.
Which I would call a fair assessment.
Can I do a Arcana, or is it like a magical creature? Would be able to get more information about them?
Not Arcana. Try Nature, if you want. Okay. You know. You know that dark mantles are large and look kind of freaky, but they're not terribly deadly by Underdark standards. They essentially form the same role as bats in the Underdark.
Goddamn Zubats. Everywhere. Anyone bring a repel?
They are blind, so they have blind sight, but and they are essentially indistinguishable from stalactites or stalagmites when they're stationary.
Okay.
Alright. Damikos, I know, is trying to sneak.
Yes.
Look, I mean, here's my thought process. We see one of them. If we kill it brutally enough, the others will leave us alone.
I'm trying to sneak.
I second this idea.
I third this idea.
Which idea?
Killing shit.
Sneak.
Oh, shit.
To be fair, it's our ranged people who want to sneak and our melee people who want to kill shit.
Yeah, that's not going to work out well for us.
I'm also melee. Mostly.
Yeah,
That's
so
right,
you're on our side, right?
You're mixed. You can do whatever.
I mean, unless someone's got some visibility up their sleeve, sneaking is not going to end well. So I feel like we're better off just getting the surprise attack instead of it surprising us.
Well, at least the one's already seen us.
And it's just sitting over there like a coward?
Yeah, it's just kind of chilling there. Like I said, they're kind of like the bats of the Underdark. They're not gonna fly over and start eating your face.
Yeah,
so we
what?
should fly over and start eating theirs, is what I'm hearing.
Bloodthirsty. Why start a fight you don't need?
Because we're gonna need it as soon as we start our way over there and they see us. Like, up close.
It's called preemptive strategy.
If they're bats, does that mean they're bats? That means they're blind anyway. Can that be a thing I tell him to say? They're not going to see you and immediately attack you.
Yeah, you can tell him they are blind. That is true.
Okay, so it hears us. I mean, I just don't buy something wouldn't attack us when it has the chance.
Why don't you give it a shot?
I think we're seeing a fundamental difference in worldview here.
Give it a shot. So you want me to hunk a spear at it? Okay.
Barbarians. Why don't you just try walking by it? If it comes at you, then you can throw a spear.
That's not the worst plan I've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm not telling you to put away your weapons. I'm just saying, you know.
Maybe
don't
Exactly.
maybe don't do that first.
I'm gonna start trying to find a path that we can use.
Okay. What you see on the map is where you can move.
It's all to scale, yeah.
Sorry?
It's all to
Maybe
scale.
Yes.
Okay.
It's all to scale. Before you start moving, perception checks from everybody, please.
Perception.
Eh, if only we had advantage.
I mean, you do still have inspiration.
Not worth it.
Fair. Ned and Zerb, you hear
Damn.
faint, echoing sounds. Oh wow, Syl. Syl goes temporarily. Ned and Zerb, you hear faint, echoing sounds of feet behind you.
It's a trap.
Yeah. Backwards is the way in which I move.
You
Towards
move
the
backwards towards the steps.
No. Backwards away from the sound that I just heard.
Okay.
I go towards it and see if I can figure out what it is.
It sounds like it's coming from pretty far away. The only reason you can hear it is because you have excellent hearing and you it's echoing a really long way along the tunnels.
Okay. I will continue to move. Gonna try and signal people to come the same way I am, so that we're not far apart.
Anybody who's moving through them and would like to move quietly, please roll a stealth check for me.
Oh, I need to get my thing.
There we go.
I do not understand this stealth.
Alright.
Do I get my advantage for being in rocky terrain?
Is that for all like hiding, or is it only for visual?
It is.
Does it apply to hearing?
It's dexterity stealth checks to hide in rocky terrain. It doesn't specify.
You're gonna make 100% of your decisions based on this little. So it's interesting. I've heard selecting rats.
Either way, it's a 13.
Okay. For future, I'm gonna say it's rocky camouflage, right?
Yeah, which would make sense for visual, not.
Yeah, for visual, yes. For something like this, where it's more hearing, no.
Bless you.
Thank you.
All right, that's fine. Well, either way, it's the 13.
Okay, so you proceed onwards. IS, are you trying to be sneaky at all?
Why would I do that?
Ned, I assume you aren't trying to be sneaky either?
What is this sneaky stuff? Is that dirty underhandedness?
I think it's a thing that weak people do because they're not strong enough to just walk to where they want to go.
These are some very leading questions from the Dungeon Master.
Yeah, I don't know what this sneaking thing is.
Like,
Of
do
course
you
he does.
want to set that priest on fire? Really? Do you want to?
Yes.
His hair, absolutely.
I mean, let's be honest. He kind of deserved it.
Okay. While
I
you're
can't
walking
deny.
by the dark, Ias and Ned, while you're walking by the dark metal that you saw earlier, you see it kind of start to stir a little bit, almost as if it's like a groggy person waking up.
I throw
From
a spear at it.
you throw a spear at it. Okay. Roll.
Barbarians.
I need you to not.
You miss.
Does he get advantage because it was pretty much lying still?
No, these things don't really move much. They're very slow on the ground. So you huck a spear at us. You huck a spear at the poor dark mantle, and it looks at the spear and looks at you, and its head is kind of, if a dark mantle could cock its head inquisitively, that is what it would be doing right now. Almost as if why?
Especially since it's blind.
We should make
Poor
it into a
blind
pet.
man-eating land squid.
Yeah, I mean, anything that like just kind of is unfazed with the javelin coming at it, I think is pretty cool.
So, do you proceed onwards after?
It doesn't charge after us? I do. 1, 2.
I mean, why would we do anything else?
Yes.
Of course.
I like how Zerb's all the way in the back.
I mean,
I'm assuming this is a giant chasm of some kind.
accurate.
Yes, it's meant to be. Something was kind of lost in the drawing, though.
Yeah.
And for some reason, when I look,
Not the bridge.
Yeah, when I look up chasm in Roll20, it gives me graphs. Whatever the
Yeah.
hell those are supposed to be.
When it's wrong, it's like crazy wrong.
Yeah. All right, you make it across the bridge with one dark mantle staring curiously after you, and a bunch of other ones kind of shaking themselves from their rest. See, ravine to me implies more forest, like a gully in a forest or something.
Gotta put mattresses
Didn't
in
occur to
your
me.
vein.
I mean, I'll agree that ravine definitely implies surface rather than underground, but well,
Underground ravine doesn't feel like an oxymoron. Just like being more precise.
it doesn't feel like necessarily wrong, but it doesn't quite seem to have the right connotation like a chasm would.
Well, I would figure a ravine would be smaller or shallower than a chasm, but it would get
Yeah,
the point
that
across
does seem
from
a
the
little bit
visual
more-
aspect.
Canyon, maybe? But you wouldn't really have an underground canyon. Except in the Underdark.
So they proudly walk out with the trophy of their sneaking.
win.
Ginger.
I thought his name was Ginger for a while.
Ginger?
His name is Jim Jar.
I call him Ginger.
Is Marianne here?
His name
too?
is Jengar.
Gengar?
Jengar with a. We're going after the Zubats.
Just wait, there's going to be all kinds of Pokemon named NPCs later.
Bring it on.
Done it now.
Oh, we're ready for it.
I will miss
I
most
know.
of these references.
Go, Alakazam!
All right, so what I got from that, though, is that they did not sneak very well, whereas we did.
Yeah. And also, we're
They
here
snuck
first, so
well
I
enough. They stopped well enough
murdered
that
him.
they didn't. True. They did
I
murder
obviously
one.
heard them.
They snuck by a thing by murdering it.
Well, then it was very aware of their presence.
Actually,
Exactly.
Actually, they didn't sneak by it if they immediately
Murdered it.
murdered it. So I think you win the bet.
Oh,
no,
without
the
a
bet
doubt,
was
he wins.
You're first, so it doesn't even matter. I mean,
Yeah,
I could have
that
told
gets
you guys to
you.
charge and just sort of ran here all at once and technically won.
Yeah. All right. Jim Jar then proceeds to kind of start walking across the bridge and motions the rest of you forward.
I examined the bridge for structural integrity.
It is
Does
a
Ned
road
fall off?
bridge across a very large chasm in the Underdark. It is.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, sturdy enough to hold a large Minotaur and the rest of you guys, but
Okay.
Hey, I'm medium sized.
Fire in any kind of events.
sorry.
All right.
So
Try
it's
not to set it on
still a
fire.
rope bridge.
Well, if Ned doesn't fall through, I feel safe. So.
I want to let them. I want to make sure there's no more than 2 at a time on the bridge, so that going last, that's how I would space myself out.
Mama's nerve.
I mean, I was going to go last to serve as a rear guard, but hey, if you want that job, go for it. I'm sure you'll do fine if something sneaks up behind us.
As a gnome with 25 movement speed, I'm very quick that way.
All right. I heard something about burning the bridge.
No, I would say don't burn the bridge.
Don't burn the bridge.
We
Okay.
might need a way back.
But I thought the
That's-
saying was that we'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
You did get to it.
So we should burn that bridge.
But we should have done that on the other side then, because we got to it then.
Right, but no, I mean, this is military strategy. You want to cut off your lines of retreat so that your only option is to keep moving forward.
That sounds wrong.
This doesn't sound like a bad plan.
It's actually something that various generals throughout history have done.
Generally, when they're being pursued, though, not when they're charging forward.
I don't know. The Soviets may
Lines of
disagree.
supply than lines of retreat, but
Well, bad generals do that,
semantics.
but-
No, there have been occasions that they've done it. It's usually more when armies are more willing or more pillaging than like actually fighting in battles.
cutting off their own lines of retreat.
Cutting off their own lines of supply.
Yeah, it's generally considered bad tactics or bad strategy. Might be good tactics, actually. Any
Likely to make the soldiers pissed.
foot traffic in the new tunnel?
Sorry?
Any evidence of foot traffic in the new tunnel? Or wagon traffic, I guess, if it's big enough?
No real evidence of wagon traffic, which makes sense because the bridge behind you doesn't really look like it could support a wagon very well. But the stones there are a bit smoother than the ones behind you. So that's something.
Alright. Move forward cautiously.
Ooh, before we do that, what kind of vegetation is growing around here? Is it vegetation that relies heavily on any sort of sustenance, like moisture in the air, or like heavy foot traffic, or like the droppings of things, just to try and get a feel of what we could be facing in the future?
Roll perception for me, actually.
Perception.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. You notice that there is nothing. There's actually no plant life growing around you. You also notice that there is a very smoggy scent on the air, which may have something to do with that.
So
These Underdark needs Captain
Small-
Planet.
So, for someone who's actually not good with this, though their character probably would be, what would that insinuate?
Industry,
Okay.
which Jimjar, or actually Bupito would probably be most likely to notice it, kind of inhales it for a moment and says, smells like home.
I mean, does he mean that in like we might be near his home, or like this reminds him of home? Because I have no way to convey that as a question to him, but that is how that's what I'm curious of.
As in, you might be near his home.
Okay. I mean, I'm of the opinion that if we're near his home, he might be the one to lead.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Put the idea to him. He kind of cocks his head. It's like, interesting idea. Follow Bupito, younglings. I will show you the way.
Okay, so he's a Jedi Master.
You know, he doesn't
And he skips
inspire
off.
confidence.
Sereth rolls his eyes and kind of starts following the crazy Darrow. As he does not skip after him, though.
Yeah, more like cautious movement. Which is great.
There's a definite side of me that wants to be freewheeling and fun like that. So you see me like begin to skip and then immediately stop and just like skulk. Once upon a time, I might have skipped and followed his lead, but these are not those days.
Poor Zerb. Alright. So, skipping onwards through the dark tunnel, the smell of smog grows steadily, steadily stronger, and the ground at your feet steadily gets smoother and flatter, which is kind of nice compared to all the uneven passages that you've been walking through for the last week or so. Eventually, you start noticing stone tiles on the floor before you, and turns the path into a nice proper road. You can see spots of light in the distance, blue and white, and too regularly placed to be phosphorescent mushrooms. As you get closer, you start to recognize the shape of a wall and gates on that wall. Welcome to Gracklestug.
Ooh, we've made it.
Ooh.
Hey, we're not dead.
I mean, step one.
Yeah.
Yet.
When did Zerb start speaking?
In Australian. Like an Australian
Oh.
accent.
Zerb still doesn't speak, so I can use whatever accent I want.
That's true.
Fair.
Nah.
Are we calling everyone Shayla?
What I
Wow.
really wanted to do was run with Soviet immigrant Drow, but I didn't think I could take it seriously enough. So as you come up to Gracklestug, you are greeted by a blast of hot and acrid air, followed by an angry red glare coming at you from above the walls from eternally burning smelters, fueling the city's metalworks. Bupito tells you that the city toils pretty much endlessly to produce the best mundane weapons in the Underdark, which is simpler to pronounce name of the City of Blades. So you can see two gates within easy distance of you on the wall. They both look just about identical. You could try and get sweet new blades here, yes. You also notice, entering into the city, a few caravans of various types. There's a couple of Dwergar caravans coming into the city that look like they're carrying ore, and there's a group of deep gnomes leading a caravan as well, that are carrying some sort of covered cargo. The deep gnomes are headed to one gate. The Dwergar are headed to a different one.
That means nothing.
Why did we gasp? Is something going on that I don't know about?
There are two gates. Anyway.
There are 4 lights!
Alright. There are two gates. I guess I'll ask the Grey Dwarf which gate is for visitors.
They're both for visitors. Don't you know? All the gates on this side go to the same place.
Obviously, we did not know.
Yeah.
That guy's a dick.
Great, you guys are making
They're
us
all
look like
dicks.
tourists.
Kind of directions from a Massachusetts guy.
Is
Anyway.
that like getting directions out in the country?
Well, the thing with Massachusetts, they assume you know your way around their state.
So, like out in the country.
I don't know.
Just gotta go 2 clicks past old Bubba's shed, then make a left.
Yeah, that.
That kind of thing.
Well, I mean, who doesn't know Bubba's Shed?
Heathens.
Exactly. Like, if you don't know Bubba's
As a
Shed, I'm not even
heathen,
sure.
I represent that remark.
There's not much we can do for you. You made bad life choices, and now you're paying for it by not knowing about Bubba's Shed.
I agree.
It's your
'cause
loss.
Everybody knows Bubba's Shed.
He has the best moonshine.
Probably should have transferred you onto this map earlier. But
Ooh.
here's Gracklestug.
But I was using my imagination before.
Oh,
A
does this
dream
live
can
up to
be
it?
a dream come true with just one spark from me and you.
Is this a disappointment or a...
I like it.
No, yeah, no, I actually dig the aesthetic of it.
Good.
So,
Glad.
as a completely 100% accurate representation of what's going on, what is that blue smoke coming out of the chimneys up there?
You would assume that it has something to do with forging. I haven't looked for tool proficiencies, but I imagine none of you have smith tool proficiencies.
No, I don't.
Nope.
Okay.
Does the Warhammer count?
No, does not count as smith tool proficiencies. But yeah, you assume that it has something to do with forging. Beyond that, you have no idea.
Well, that's always the best news.
So you have no idea what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love hearing you have zero clue as to what's going on with your life?
Now that we're in the city, should we sell our stuff and divvy it up?
You're not in the city yet. You haven't
Oh,
actually
right.
gone into a gate.
Let's out the door.
Well, let's go into the city.
You gotta like
Yeah,
knock on the door.
why are we still out
first.
here?
Okay,
Let's go
we
in
knock
and sell
on the
some
door. Knock, knock.
A
Is there a knock?
dwarven voice answers you. State your names and business. slits open on the wall, revealing crossbow bolts pointing at you.
I say, my name is Damakos. I and the others are travelers who happen to be traveling together, and our business is some small trade and possibly shelter.
I want to buy some blades, damn it.
Want
Yeah,
to
we
buy
got some
blades that
stuff
shoot bees
to
with
sell.
other blades.
You
Some
want
stuff
to
to buy.
buy, eh?
Depends on what you're selling.
You can't afford what we're selling, boy.
See, he
Unless
says
you
that, but
got
he has
some-
no indication of my financial means.
Yeah,
You are a gnome dressed in rags who looks blind.
He
yeah,
still
but
has,
on the other hand, we just survived traveling through the Underdark.
right?
They live
How
down
clean
here.
does he
That's
expect
not
us to really
impressive
be?
them.
Well, if you don't want our gold, fine.
Yeah. Like, he's too good for us. We're too good for him.
Proceed to walk away.
You're gonna proceed to walk away?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, we're not just going to let him think that he's better than us, and at the same time, it's a good way to
I'm not
barter.
gonna fight my way into a dwarven city either.
The fuck's wrong with y'all again? Why do you keep walking away from these awesome fights?
I know, right?
You can
Plus,
try.
I mean, they're dwarves. There's alcohol in here.
Yeah,
Lots of alcohol.
And you think there's going to be any left after the dwarves? I've been at it.
Yes, because they'll need more for tomorrow.
Like, state your name. Ned. State your purpose. Beer!
What's your
Accept
name?
it.
Fearless.
The dwarves at the gate the top of the gate kind of stare at you as you walk away.
Well,
Are you walking away?
Yeah, like at a
So
slow
I'm not.
stroll.
All right. As you walk away, the crossbow bolts go away, the slits close, and a smaller, before unseen door opens in the wall.
see, this is the one for people who know what they're doing.
It's the passive aggressive door.
Or it's where they let the hounds out.
Don't say that. I
Then
don't
we
like
can
that
fight the
idea.
hounds.
You could try, yes. And another Dwargar comes out. This one looks to be dressed in rather finer armor than the ones that were up on the wall. He's got a crest emblazoned across his breastplates, which none of you would recognize at first sight. You can make you can make probably history to identify it if you like.
Ooh, I'm proficient in history. I'll give that a go.
No, I will let
Why are
that
you
go.
proficient in history?
Nope.
Because my background said I was.
Oh, fair. All right, Zerb, you identify the symbol. You identify the symbol as the current, as the symbol of the current king of Krackelstug, of the city of Blades, of Horgrim Deepstone. The dwarf kind of looks at you. The Dwargar kind of looks at you curiously and says, "Well, I see you want to get into our fair city here, eh?"
If we could buy shit outside, we would.
But we can't.
Well, that can always be arranged. But you've got some. I'm sure you can make it worth my while to let you in. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you're a fan of stuff. So, like, here, pull out my bagpipes and start playing for him.
What the bloody hell is that noise?
I'm making it worth your while.
That's not worth my while. Put it away.
Is it worth your while if I stop?
It will be worth my while not to kill ya if you stop.
I mean, that's pretty aggressive, like beyond the passive.
I mean, he's playing bagpipes at him. Do you expect any other response?
He sounds Scottish. He should love this.
But he doesn't.
The
right?
dwarf we're sounding like we're traveling with also sounds Scottish. I was wondering what she was thinking of all this. Isn't it
Eldeth's kind of looking very confused and not recognizing this instrument. What the bloody hell is that? God, it's going to be hard to make them sound different.
My thing.
Don't have to.
Yeah. Are you still playing the bagpipes for this clearly irritated guard?
No, I stop and look very sad.
Thank God. Well, now that racket is over with, could you spare something to make it actually worth my while?
Oh, you want me to spare you a tune? Sure, and I start playing again.
No! He starts yelling at you again. No! Turn it off, you bloody shitter!
You're confusing me here. You keep sending mixed messages. I do not understand what you want.
I'll address the noble real quick. You know, that instrument is designed to carry as far as possible.
What's your point?
We don't have to enter the city for you to enjoy the music.
Indeed.
Look, I just want one little thing.
Put it out.
And then you can get in.
What does he want?
Oh, he's not saying.
A little ditty?
Let's get on with it. What would you like?
Anybody with a no, he'll just come out and say it. Fuck it. I like weapons. You know, I really like them.
Doesn't he live in the city of fucking swords?
I mean, where do you think he got the enjoyment of them from? The weapons around here are...
Enjoy. What degree of enjoyment are we talking about here?
We're keeping hold of my staff.
He likes his weapons, he does. I'm looking for something special. Something that I can't get inside the City of Blades here.
Bagpipes?
Too fair,
You
so
wouldn't
am
happen to
I.
know that I could get a weapon like that. Unless that thing can damage someone's eardrums.
It can.
It can.
With sufficient enthusiasm, yes.
Here, take a couple steps closer to me and I'll play you a tune.
He'll play a little day.
I don't think I want to use that as a weapon there. You got anything, any sort of special ones for me? He'll take a look around at you guys. I know you guys have been looting hand crossbow bolts from the drow you've been killing. Have you been taking their swords and stuff as well?
I
took
did
one
not.
sword.
I think I grabbed...
I already have my blade.
I don't think I did. I have a hand
I-
crossbow and some bolts, that's it.
I have my light crossbow and my dagger, and that's it.
Yeah, I just got a couple of javelins.
He looks greedily at the drow swords as his gaze sweeps across y'all until he spots Sill's staff sword.
Oh, it just looks like a staff right now.
Sill's staff. And
If he looks greedily at a staff, I will buy him a walking stick. I won't
His
do that,
eyes
actually.
just kind of light up in his head, like, will.
I'm
What
so
have we there, little lady?
nothing that I'm willing to sell. Everything that I
It's not
require.
selling. It's a donation of good faith.
A
Make sure
donation.
you don't cause any trouble in here.
Nothing that I
You
can
know
part
what?
with.
Sorry?
Yes, I understand, but this I cannot part with.
Well, that's a terrible shame.
Had I spare, it would be yours, sir.
Well, all right. Give me one of the drow swords and a couple gold, and we'll get you into this here city of ours.
Is that going to get us some kind of discount in the city too? Because I kind of need the sword right now.
Nah. You think this will get you a discount in the city?
No,
Are you-
that's what I'm asking.
No. No, it will not.
What about if we promise to make sure he doesn't start playing again?
If he doesn't start playing again, then if I never hear him start playing again, you can keep the gold, but I want a sword.
Give the man a sword.
Do you promise that I can get some armor in there?
What do you think this is? Some sort of surface elf forest trancy place?
Well,
This
I
is
know
not-
you're not a music lover, so I gotta check my bases here.
Aye, this is the city of blades.
So we can get swords, but can we get armor?
You can get armor too.
Ah, thank you.
Yes was the answer the entire time. He just didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give him the long sword.
Thank you kindly, my friend. He'll motion to the door behind him. But don't give it to me. I got a friend in the Dark Lake district. I'll get you I'll promise you now the longsword wasn't special, it was just a longsword. I got a friend in the Dark Lake district. I'll get one of me boys to take you down there if you like. Name be Wers Saltbaron. Give the sword to him, will ya? Thank you kindly. If he
Seems
doesn't
kind
get
of
it,
Oh, I got that.
nice. If he doesn't get it within the day, the guards will be hunting for you. And we'll put you in the pens. And you won't like the pens.
seems odd that as the king he would have me go to some other random ass person.
I don't
in
think
the
he's
city.
actually the king. I think he just has the king's
No, he's
emblem.
not the king.
No.
He-
He may be the king. I'm fairly convinced that that's him.
What are you inciting for, exactly?
To see if there's some other thing that there's some other reason, or if he's being shady or something.
You notice a strange glint in his eye when he starts talking about weapons.
Yeah, he's a pervert. We got it.
What?
So,
Something
yeah,
that
he's a
goes.
pervert. We got it.
Shh.
Do not want to think about what he wanted to do with my staff.
Ah.
Oh God!
Ah.
Come on now, everybody has their thing.
You brought it up. You brought it up. You only have yourself to blame.
Yeah, but we didn't start
Even
judging
meant to
him
be a
for it.
pervert.
Yeah. People do what they want.
Dude, that
He
dude
just
talks
likes-
way too passionately about blades for him not to be a pervert.
What the fuck is he gonna do with a blade?
I'm not judging.
Don't
You've
actually
never
know
heard of
the answer
knife
to that.
play?
I don't want to know the answer to that question. All right, you insight him. He has a strange glint in his eye when he talks about weapons. Something that's probably a little beyond a mundane obsession. And that's not going to come out any better, but... So, besides that, he seems to be sincere. He's made you a promise that he'll let you into the city if you drop this sword off with somebody he knows.
I'm assuming it probably looks bad on him if he's seen taking a sword or something from us.
You could assume that, yes.
I don't know enough about dwarves to say one way or another, but I've heard they're generally good on promises, so sure, I trust them. Enough.
You probably know enough to know that Dwergar may be evil, but they are lawful evil.
Right. So if he said he's going to do this thing, he's definitely going to do that. Which doesn't mean he won't screw us over later on something else, but
Of course not.
I mean, I don't give big enough shit about this sword to make a deal of it. Let's just go and hope we don't get stabbed.
okay.
All right.
Favor of this plan.
Anything than standing here.
I will ask him if there's any way to make some quick money in this city, like an arena or something.
There's only one way for quick money for people like you.
Playing the bagpipes?
Nah. Wait, what are bagpipes?
Don't ask. They're an even worse instrument.
Would you like an example?
I don't think I do.
Sad.
Anyhow, only way for easy money for outsiders is to trade. You know what the easiest thing to trade is? It's yourself.
I'm not so sure I'm comfortable doing the whole red light district thing.
That was a really awkward way to
You
phrase
sell
whatever it is.
yourself into slavery.
Yeah, I
Could
don't need
still be
cash
the red
now.
light district.
How does that even work? That doesn't even sound like it works. The whole purpose of slavery is not getting any money for it.
Well, but the Romans did that kind of a thing where you could eventually earn your freedom.
Like an indentured
Yeah,
servitude.
that doesn't help me in the short term.
Yeah, no, that definitely does not seem like a workable plan.
Quick,
Yeah,
I'll sell
don't
myself
get,
for 5 gold.
I mean, we've got 6 or 7 potential slaves that we could sell.
True.
Give him such an
actually
eye.
suggesting
7
that.
of them.
Not actually suggesting that.
I would have huge qualms with us selling someone else into slavery.
I'm surprised that I am surprised that IS is fine with frying gnomes up in teriyaki sauce and eating them, but not with enslaving them.
Well, slavery's just cruel.
I mean, look, I may be a carnivore, but I'm not, like, going to support needless animal cruelty.
Like the
Just
reverse
because bacon's
PETA.
delicious doesn't mean I hate pigs.
All right. Enter the city.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Wait, did he give us directions?
No,
I thought we
he's
had an
gonna
escort.
give one of his. Yeah, he's gonna send a couple of guards with you.
Okay, good.
Make sure you don't take anything now.
But if we paid for it, why wouldn't we take it?
You don't steal anything, you dumbass.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Oh, hey, there's a way we can get our stuff without having to make money first.
Soleil is kind of taking note of the word dumbass and like writing it down for future reference. Is that a sword they don't have in the U or what?
Topsy and Turvy kind of look at you funny while you're writing. They're like, "Eh."
That's the word you're writing down. Like that's the part of our culture you need to know about.
It may come in very handy very soon, given the conversation, because she just got the definition of it.
Oh.
So that's what that word means.
Exactly.
Alright. Penalty for stealing in this place is death. So,
That
don't
everywhere.
steal anything.
Whose death?
You're death. Wait, you're mute.
Ha!
Damn it. Oh. I'm going to assume one of the NPCs or something asked that. Probably Smiley.
Smiley, no, you're so stupid. Don't actually ask it. Fit it and think it to yourself and then giggle. Oh, he's such an idiot. He's gonna die.
Your death. The death of the person who's stealing. You stupid dado. Alright, boys. Show him over to the Dark Lake District. I got an appointment there.
Yeah, I think we should just get that out the way first.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright. So, you have two guards escorting you on either side of your ragtag party. Which cartels are active in this city? As a criminal, you would actually
contacts.
know. What?
I have it would take time for me to figure that out though. So we'll go to where the guards are taking us first.
But you would know that the Zentarum group from the surface does maintain a presence down here.
Okay.
So, you are going through Cracklestook. As you're walking along, Topsy and Turvy kind of huddle in closer to you guys and mutter. Turvy mutters, "That's weird, Topsy." Topsy turns to Turvy and says, "What do you mean, Topsy? What's weird?" Turvy looks at him. "He was so open, Topsy. He just asked for it. They don't normally do that here." "Ah, come on, Turvy. It's probably just some idiot." "No, Topsy. It And you continue onward as you're going. So you're walking through the Dwergar part of the city right now. You see, as you saw from the outside, you see tons of forges along the streets. It's all Dwergar around here. There are no outsiders besides yourselves. and you see them running from side to side with bundles of weapons, bustling about and working. You also see piles of weapons along the side of the building too, separated into two parts. One of them is composed of weapons who look perfectly fine to you. The other is also composed of weapons that look completely fine to you. Strange. Anyhow, you make your way through the city, and you eventually come to another wall that divides the city in two.
Sie sind das
Guards.
Essen und wir sind die Jäger.
So the guards knock on the gate wall, shout something up in Dwarfish along the lines of, "We got surfacers with us. We got to let them in for the boss." The gates begin to swing open. It opens into a very, very different part of town. So the streets here are much narrower. It's almost entirely outside people here. There are no Dwergar at all. Most of the buildings are taken up instead by shops and carts and merchants, as opposed to the smelting that you saw earlier. The two dwarves that escorted you here kind of herd you through the gate, then yell up to the wall to close the gate. This is as far as we're taking them. And as the gates close behind you,
Wait.
You are-
Yeah, somebody would ask where we're supposed to take this to. Like, where is the place? Or the guy's dwelling, or wherever.
the guards that came with you, as the gate closes behind you.
No!
Looking around, you see there are a couple of guards on this side of the gate, just kind of watching the crowd. Besides that, there's just a mob of other races throughout the streets here. There's some Sverfneblin. There's a couple of orcs and couple of halflings around as well. There's humans scattered throughout the crowd. You can even pick out one or two drow amongst all of them.
This is gonna be murder.
I like to go up to the closest one and be like, "Hey, can you tell me where this thing is that we're looking for?"
Closest to what?
Entity that can talk.
Closest entity is probably the rest of your party. But closest, besides them, closest one is probably the guard. Kind of turns at you. What thing?
What was it called? The Black Ink District or something?
Dark Lake District.
Yeah, that one.
You're in the Dark Lake District.
Oh, well, have you heard of this person we're looking for?
Yeah, somebody will say the name.
Where the hell was his name? We're at Salt Baron. Oh, one sec, I'll put it in chat. I don't know where he might be. I can't help you there. You might be able to, though. There's an inn. A couple streets over that way, and to your left. It's called the Gorbron's Lair. You might be able to find something out there.
To the side quest.
Yeah. I'm just gonna type it out. I'm not gonna try and pronounce it again.
Golhorn's Lair.
Golbrorn's Lair. It's very hard to pronounce without a German accent. Names in this book are fucking ridiculous sometimes. Righto. You can also... There's a place called the Shattered Spire that you can try and hit up for information as well. Might find some interesting things there. Or, if you're looking to trade, and he kind of makes quotation marks with his fingers as he says it, there's a place 2 streets the opposite way from the lair. And then down to your right, called the Blade Bazaar. You can't miss it. I promise you that.
Yeah, no.
I promise you there will be no child slaves that you can buy.
I don't want any slaves.
What about child slaves that we can sell?
You would have to have children first. And that's a...
That's a different district.
You would know, you smelly pirate hooker.
Oh.
So I'm guessing we're going to the lair first?
Like, if we see anywhere to buy and sell stuff on the way, I think we could probably just stop in real quick.
Well, but we still don't have enough gold for everything we need.
Well, we can still sell some of the stuff on the way, right? And then maybe get some of these things we need.
How much would we have? How much would we have total? Was it posted before?
101 gold.
Split 5 ways.
So it's
right?
like 20 gold a person.
We can't even buy a
You
healing
got more
potion.
party loot than that, don't you?
That depends on how much of it I think Damascus wants to, or Demikos wants to split.
Well, I mean, even if we split it all evenly.
Oh. It would be
Spider eye,
100 and,
spider
it would be
brush,
146 gold, not 101 gold. Sorry, I read that wrong.
No, it'd be 101 total. The 46 is added into that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we split that, 9 ways? That's, 10, not even 10 gold a pop.
9 ways.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
understand 9.
Not for nothing. With the NPCs are in it, too.
Yeah.
So, wait, no, that's 11 ways. Yeah, 9
No,
gold a pop.
it's you added that up wrong then. Because, I mean, with the black mask is 25 gold. 3 gems,
50 for
never
the
mind.
3, 5
15
5
for the
each.
3. I was reading that as 15 per. Shit.
Uh,
Though, we still have the 8 spider eye gems.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff we don't know the value of, but if they're not worth a lot, like we're not wealthy enough. I mean, I was kind of eyeballing that, but unless they're worth like 45 gold pieces a pop, I'm probably not buying anything. I kind of want to keep the rope and sell off my 50-foot. That's about it. And unload some other stuff in the explorer's pack I don't actually need.
Yeah, I mean, you can keep the rope. That's fine. Yeah, can we get the... I guess we need to see how much those spider eye gems, the spider brooch, and the blue liquor's worth.
yeah.
When we get numbers on that, then we can start really talking about splitting. But before that, like 9 each, 10, somewhere in there.
So you're on your way to the spire, right?
As far as I'm concerned, these NPCs have mostly just been following us.
They've contributed.
Have they?
Not as much. I mean, where were they when the Spider Queen bitch was killing us? Or beating the shit out of us?
They were outside
Not
contributing.
dying?
there.
Like sensible people?
Exactly. They
The-
wanted to be sensible, And with no risk comes no reward.
I agree. I mean, that sounds like pure cowardice to me.
I'm not going to argue against it, but if they do, I'm also not going to argue for it. So but I mean, just from a metagame perspective, we're one party. We're not so many PCs and so many NPCs. It makes sense. They've contributed to our survival that they get a share of the loot from that. Maybe we don't split the spider eyes and the spider brooch with them, but the rest of the stuff they're a part of.
Meta-wise and being a cool party member, I agree. But Papa needs some new armor.
Yeah.
It really all comes down to what the unvalued stuff is worth. Because the spider, I mean, not for nothing, the drow put them on their religious statue. They're probably not red glass.
So maybe then we should go have those appraised first.
Yeah, that would be the first step.
And don't anybody mention where we got them from.
No, they're just fist-sized rubies we happened to find in a hall.
They're my inheritance from the surface.
Of course. All right. So, are you going, doing things, enjoying stuff?
First things first, we gotta unload what we have, figure out how much cash we're actually dealing with, and then go shopping. But those are that and figuring out what's going on.
We need to figure out where this person is. Figure out where this person is so we don't get lynched.
That's actually not an inaccurate representation of what would happen.
I don't know. My neck's pretty thick.
So I mean, did the guard have any information on the warp?
Nope. He just said where to go to. He said to go to the Gorgon's lair or Golrun's lair. I'm just gonna call it Gorgon's lair. It's so much easier.
Anybody who speaks Dwarvish recognizes that as the Dwarvish word for Bulette, which is a weird burrowy monster.
Those things are not fun.
So you can call it the Gorgon's lair or the Bulette's lair or whatever the hell you want. I'm probably
Bulette's burrow?
Sure, whatever.
So, I mean, we know roughly where to go, but we have no idea who we're looking for.
We know the name.
You know his name.
But we're not going to walk into every place just shouting out someone's name.
Why not?
Well, Zerb sure isn't.
Man, I start yelling out, hey, does anybody know this salty feller?
I'd say we just ask an innkeeper. That seems to be the best way to go. One of them was an inn, right? Or a tavern. Tavern keepers know everybody. It's like Cheers.
Where everybody knows.
Saltburn!
Exactly!
I say we gotta ship a priest first.
Alright. I'm actually more afraid of being murdered. So I would repeatedly gesture towards the sword as the discussion goes on.
How about some of you go get things appraised, the other of us will go search for this worst guy.
Nothing bad happened at splitting the party.
No.
I will hand Somei the sword and be like, alright, y'all have fun with that.
I mean, we still have enough people in the we have enough party members
yeah, you pretty
to
much
split
have enough party members for two.
for a full party. Well then, who's with us?
So, who's going where?
I'm going with the sword.
As Somei.
You can go with the sword for now. Make sure that gets done.
I'd like to get stuff appraised first.
Alright, well, if we're splitting, I'll do appraisal.
Okay, so we have Ned, Damikos, and Ias going to get appraised. You can take Topsy and Turvy and probably Eldith with you, actually. The rest of the NPCs will head with Silme and Zerb.
Thank
I
you.
forgot your name for a second.
It's cool. It happens.
Does. Alright. Eldith is the female dwarf. I should, put a legend or something of their names with pictures.
You can,
Yeah.
Next to the-
Put them
you
in
can,
the
do they have
character
journal
list.
entry?
They actually do have character sheets. Maybe I'll just make those accessible to you.
Yeah. It's the easiest way to do that.
I might need to edit some things off of them first.
Or you can just move it to the GM notes.
True.
I mean, you don't have to do it now. You can do it later.
Yeah, I'll deal with that later. All right. So let's do the appraisal group first. So, the guard told you that there was a blade bazaar that you could go to buy and sell things. Does that sound promising at all to you? Or would you prefer to go find a smaller merchant outside of there?
Only if there's a ton of blade puns at the Blade Bazaar.
I mean, the Bazaar is probably like a good place to get a starting point, but if it's called the Blade Bazaar, they're probably not as interested in like gems and stuff as other
Yeah, we
places
really
might
need
be.
to find a gem merchant more than a. I mean,
The Bazaar, we can probably find we can probably find out where to go from the Bazaar.
That makes the most sense.
Good plan. All right. So you have missions to the Blade Bazaar already. Roll a perception check for me while you are traveling, please.
I see ground.
Yep.
Well, sorry, Jimmer, you got this.
Yeah, Damokos.
Second. Do I?
Wow. Wow.
So, nice
Wow.
ground, huh, guys?
Okay. The highest between all of you, including the NPCs, the highest thing rolled was a 9. So you don't spot anything that you would consider to be unusual. Nothing unusual spots you as well. Thank God. And you make it to the Blade Bazaar without incident for the time being. So the Blade Bazaar is pretty well what you would expect. It is a square-shaped plaza with stalls all around it, with bins and bins and bins of weapons, armor, shields in every shape you can imagine. There is a lively trade going on. There is a general bubble of conversation. As you walk in, no one really seems to notice anything different about you. This is another area where outsiders are pretty welcome. Any decorated weapons or armor? Decorated in what sense? Just gilded?
Jeweled.
Anything jeweled?
Jeweled, gilded, stuff like that.
Finding someone who sells that stuff would be a great way to find someone who would buy jewels.
Yes, you make an excellent point. You assume correctly. As you watch one buyer pulls away several barrels full of weaponry for themselves.
Barrels? Guys floated.
It's a wholesaler place. essentially.
Oh, he's Costco.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of the weapon Costco.
You're not buying like a sword.
You're not just buying a sword here. You're buying a Dwergar sword. And with Dwergar, you know you're getting quality.
Gosh, they
I should
say
have
that.
this.
Can I just get a single Dwargar quality, though?
Yeah, they're identical prices to be in the book. So what are you looking for?
Well, I guess our goal is still to sell the gems first, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Right. So you're looking for anybody with bejeweled armor.
War weaponry. Doesn't really matter.
You notice a very large and prominent stand in one of the corners of the plaza that has large jeweled breastplates, hard to pronounce, breastplates arrayed along the edges of yeah, pretty much. Imagine all the gaudiest weapons and armor that you can. This is the place where you buy them en masse.
So the new plan is to burn this place down.
What?
Isn't it made of stone?
Yeah, but have you seen how terrible the stuff looks? We would be
Well,
doing
that's
the
not
world a favor.
problem. You don't
Right,
have to buy it.
Zerb also wouldn't be seeing this.
No, Zerb's not seeing anything. This is all out of character commentary.
I mean, he's talking, so it has to be out of character.
No, I get it, but
I
Zerb
can't
just
see the
feels the gaudiness from afar.
From afar.
Anyway,
I love how
So we
Serve is
find
the
the
fashion
place?
club.
I'm gonna start looking at the product
Okay.
and wait until I can see who's selling things.
In front of you, a Dwergar merchant reappears from invisibility and says, "Hello there.
Greetings.
What are you looking at, good sir?"
Hopefully, I'm looking at someone who I can help.
I'm looking at a dwarf that just appeared in front of us.
I'm more
I
keeping an eye on the crowd.
Dwergar. All
Let's say again.
Dwergar can be invisible. Surely you knew this.
We're new. However,
Ah, foolish surfacers. I see.
Wouldn't so much call us foolish.
he's a hell of a salesman.
Would you like to buy some of my jeweled armor?
Not right away, at least. We're
But
hoping.
it is the finest armor.
Oh, I have no doubt that is high quality equipment that is both beautiful and functional. No, the issue we have first is we are looking for a gem, I guess a gemmonger?
You are looking for a jeweler?
Jeweler, gemmonger. We have some stock that we wish to trade away for gold.
Ah. Well, you see that lovely Sverfneblin over there? And he points to another part of the bazaar where there's a Sverfneblin standing next to an earth elemental, actually.
Ah,
Um,
I do.
She is where I buy my gems.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Foolish surfacers.
I will proceed over to the Skrifnibwood.
I assume you guys are making a Zootopia reference, but I have not seen that movie yet.
Neither have
No
I, but I'm just
spoilers.
talking. I've only seen the trailer that I was in.
Ah,
Yeah.
no spoilerinos, please. Alright. You go over to see the Swerve Neblin, who thankfully speaks normally. She looks up as you approach and says, "Hi! What are you looking for today, sir? Can I interest you in some of my lovely garnets here?" She reaches into a bag, a very small bag at her waist, and pulls out some very large garnets.
I'll take one and look at it as if I know what I'm looking at.
No. You can't just take them. Here, look. No touching, please.
I'll lean down and look at it. Well, I can see you deal in quality.
She kind of blushes a little bit. Thank you. I can see that you're a man of great taste in jewels.
I smile at that. I'm wearing like the rattiest clothes too. I will, however, pull out a bag. I hope I can back that. I hope that what I'm about to show you will reinforce that opinion. And I will pull out one of the spider eyes.
Ooh. Interesting. She reaches out to grab it, stops. May I?
You may.
Thank you. Grabs it, starts doing jeweler things with it, takes it, examines it with a lens, taps it with a teeny little hammer, listens to the sound it makes, comes back a little while later. This is a remarkable gem.
I thought so too.
Where
However,
did you find this?
I was going to say fell off a cart. I think I will just straight up lie about this. I acquired it from a friend who acquired it from a surface trader who himself acquired it from someone who was supposed to donate it to a temple, but then the temple got smashed by orcs, and then they needed to trade that for gold in order to build the army to fight the orcs, and suddenly these very finely cut gems were, well, without a good home.
That's so elaborate, it can't be a lie.
Roll deception for me, please.
Oh, give the man
Either that or
advantage.
it's
Advantage! Come on! That was an awesome story.
It was an awesome
I will
story.
give you advantage.
Inspiration.
He
No, I'll
earned that
give you
advantage.
advantage. That was a good story.
plus. I mean, it's fine if she thinks we stole them, just as long as she doesn't think they were from a drow temple.
Okay, the advantage wouldn't have mattered. She rolls a 7 to insight that. Her eyes kind of water up a little bit and say, "Oh, that's such a sad story. Please, do you have any more of these lovely gems?"
I do. I'm not sure exactly how many I have. I'll pull out like 3 more in my, like 2 more in one hand. Pull out one of the 5 GP gems. I also got these guys. Like balance
Oh,
that on
those?
top.
They're not quite as excellent.
Yes.
I'll give you 5
leftover.
gold
Someone
apiece
gave them
for
to me
them,
instead
course.
of for drinks. I think I actually got one of these in a bet. Clink, clink.
Sounds like something a man of the world like you would do. I'll give you 5 gold apiece for the smaller ones, and I will give you 30 apiece for the larger ones. For those lovely ones that you gave me such a lovely story for.
30 times 8. 30,
not
30.
bad.
Do I want to haggle? I should haggle.
Yes.
Almost. The 5 GP, I'm okay with that. Whatever. But for these,
Don't forget you've also got the brooch.
yeah, but it's a spider brooch,
Hmm.
so it's gonna be harder. We might
This
be better off.
also fell off a cart.
That one just fell off a car. That, but,
It was also from a temple on the surface that was far away that got smashed by orcs.
the hell kind of temple was it? No, anyway, I'm pretty sure that one's fairly obviously drow. But the
Yeah.
gems, I'm gonna say 30 is not an unfair price, but I do know how fine they are, and I don't need to sell them like right now. So I was really hoping to get something closer to 40.
Roll persuasion.
This I'm not proficient in. But I can roll my roll.
She kind of looks at you and says, I am not sure that's entirely true, my friend. What do you need the gold for so desperately for?
I don't need the gold so desperately.
Oh, fuck. Does anybody
not
know
lying,
how to
I-
stop the Windows Forced update?
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
my
once it
computer's-
starts.
We might know for 40 gold piece.
Man, you can't hold my computer hostage like that.
We're very capable.
Is this the normal Windows update?
Yeah.
Or is it the NAG service
It's the NAG service.
telling you need to restart?
In 14 minutes and 15 seconds, yes. For now...
There's a service you can kill.
There's a what?
There's a service you can stop it. It'll tell that to fuck off.
Ooh.
Huh. Apparently, you can also just lock your computer to reset the timer.
Every 10 minutes, just lock your computer.
I mean, I didn't say it was a good way to do it, but apparently that is something you can do.
Which is hilarious. Okay, yeah, so if you just do Windows R and do net stop Windows update,
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
I can never remember the damn name. So 40, 10 gold, right?
4010.
4,010 gold.
Well, I'm not opposed, but that sounds like an unrealistic ask.
Just a little bit.
Okay. How about 400?
1 second. Apparently I need administrator access for this.
You have none.
You're a good user. Not one of those bad people that always runs as admin.
Shut up. The command prompt only starts up not administrator by default on this computer.
Hit Windows, search for command.
Yeah, you should be able to right click it and run as administrator.
That.
Alright. Imminent danger of Windows update has been snuffed.
Yay, tech
I'm
nerds!
prepared. For this service that you have done me, I'm prepared to settle for 35 gold per gem.
That's probably reasonable.
Yeah, okay, I'll take it. Doing loads. So that's
We actually had at
Congratulations,
least
Ned. You rolled a nat 20 at Meta Persuasion.
12. You had like 15 rubies, right? How many eyes did that thing have?
And at 8.
Nat 8.
at 8.
And we're splitting the eyes just between the actual party, right? Not the NPCs.
Yes. Let's do it that way.
But everything else we're splitting between everybody.
Yeah.
How many
I'm okay
NPCs
with
are
that.
there?
I thought we were sized to 9 total.
9. Okay.
How many surviving NPCs are there?
We should have
There
only
are
lost 1.
2, 3.
We only lost 1.
6, 7.
So
There
we'd be
are.
at 10.
You can count the twins as 1, so you have 6.
That's 11 total.
Ned's bad at math.
So I'm assuming we can sell the other price stuff at the bazaar without any issue.
Yeah. Whatever weapons you've actually been pilfering off the drow, you can sell
Well, like the
without issue.
candlesticks, there was a black mask, some dice.
Yeah,
like,
you can sell the rest of it without issue.
Wait.
Alright.
Didn't 3 of us want those dice?
I didn't.
I know.
Yeah, I thought there
Zerg-
were several other people that did.
Yeah, I know Zerg
Yeah.
did.
And I think I actually took the flask.
Yeah,
Alright.
you took the flask because it made you feel pleasantly drunk.
Hey, I haven't drunk it yet. I plan on it.
Shit.
Not yet. I will.
Spoiler alert.
It'll make you feel pleasantly drunk.
That's what you think.
I should probably get that identified first.
Probably. Alright, while you are going about selling all that stuff at the bazaar, we're going to switch over to the group who is going to look for Salty McSalt at the Gorgon Lair.
Yes.
So, you actually have 2 options to go for. There is the Shattered Spire, which you don't have directions for, but on the horizon there's a very large shattered stalagmite that is probably what he was referring to.
Pretty obvious.
On the other hand, you also have directions to the Gorgon Lair. So, whichever one floats your boat.
I can
I'm
peek in and see
inclined
which
to
one
follow
looks
suit.
better. See which one looks less destructive, possibly. Who knows? Less dingy.
For less dingy, you want? Definitely the Shattered Spire.
And Shattered Spire was the first one that got run by us, right?
No, that was the
Was it?
bolt. That was the Gorgon Lair.
What do you think? Shattered Spire? Just looking to the rest of the group.
I non-verbally kind of comment that I'm inclined to follow you. Whatever you decide is the best direction.
Anyone else?
Yukito seems oddly distracted. Who else is with you? I think the twins. No, the twins
No,
are
the twins.
with them.
So
Yeah. Besides that, the rest of them are also ambivalent as to which one you go to first.
It's all down the Silmay now.
so
It's all up to you.
So yeah, that one's less dingy and seems a bit more hospitable than she'd go to the Spire.
So what I'm hearing is that you're going to Spire.
That's indeed what I said. I don't know if it cut out.
Okay. No, I might have just not been listening properly.
I see how it is.
Alright. While you are traveling, please roll me perception checks.
I'm very good at
Oh,
this.
shit. Okay, I'm not even going to bother having the NPCs roll. You guys kill it. You notice a party of 6 drow elves wandering through the streets of the Dark Lake district. They are armed with what you've seen previously. They still carry their weapons with them, and they are actively looking around for something.
Wait, you said they had the, like... Sorry, you cut out at probably the exact wrong moment, but do they look like they have symbols of things we've seen before? Was that it?
They're armored the same way that you've seen drow armored before. It's probably one of my roommates slamming the door. They're armored the same way that you've seen drow armored before. Like the other ones, they aren't wearing symbols openly. So you can't tell for sure if they are the same.
Yeah, she's going to kind of quickly take Serb by the hand and start like winding her way through the crowds and tell the others to go quickly too. Just kind of sneak into the other side of the crowds towards the spire.
Zerb, you would have all seen this.
When she takes me by the hand, I take Smiley by the hand as well. I don't know why, but I feel a desire to keep him safe.
Smiley looks surprised at first, and then he's kind of starts smiling again and grabs everyone else by the hand. Yeah, the Windows update thing just came up again. You're full of shit.
Oh no!
Run the command again? Or is it at a lower timer now?
Lower timer, service is listed as already stopped. So I guess I'm just gonna have to like switch computers or something in 5 minutes. So you'll have to bear with me and about then. But for now, I assume that you're trying to evade the drow?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me a stealth check, please.
Advantage if it's rocky terrain, but I doubt it. It's probably
No, it's not rocky terrain.
Yeah. Didn't think it was, but always gotta try.
Actually, you'd probably get advantage just because you're 2.5 feet tall or some such, and you are in a forest, a veritable forest of people.
Well, I don't mind that.
1 sec. Alright, Pepito trips and falls on something, but unfortunately for you, it doesn't matter because the drow are distracted by a loud noise coming around the corner.
Do we know what that loud noise was?
What?
Do we know what that loud noise was? Was it scary?
Not right now, but it
worried about?
seems to be coming closer to you.
Yeah, Sylvie's taking it right to the spire and into the door as quickly as possible.
Alright. Yeah. So you make your way. The Shattered Spire is, as it sounds like, an enormous stalagmite that protrudes above the Dark Lake district. It's about 40 feet off from the shore of... Oh, I haven't actually mentioned the Dark Lake yet, have I? Surprise! The Dark Lake district is built on the Dark Lake.
Gasp!
Clever naming.
Gaspe, I know. The Dark Lake is, as it sounds like, a dark lake. The water is very dark. You can occasionally see swirls in it is probably the best way to describe it, as something stirs beneath the surface. So the Shattered Spire has a small causeway going out to it. It's about 40 feet out from the shore, and it seems like a tavern, but it's built primarily out of fungi stalks, in the same way as a log cabin would be. So you can enter within it. It's relatively quiet, especially compared to outside, and most taverns that... Actually, neither of you would have really been in taverns. It's relatively quiet compared to most taverns that the rest of the party would have been in, had they been here. There's a barkeeper at the bar, as always. An assortment of different races of patrons around.
What race is the barkeep?
Barkeep's Dwargar.
Well, somebody's gonna go up to the bar, because that seems like the best place to go for information. Always talk to a barkeep. At least that's what you heard from our reading.
Yes, the old stories are always, you walk into a tavern and talk to the barkeep for information.
The barkeep always knows everything in every story, in every book.
Well, fortunately for you, this barkeep has somewhat of an idea. How do you introduce yourself to him?
Ooh, say Jane.
No, she'll just politely say hello and ask if she might ask a question.
Hello to you, elf. You may ask. I may not answer.
Well, we are in search of one known as how was it pronounced? Salt Baron?
I nod enthusiastically at her pronunciation.
What? I might know him.
We were told to bring him something that we might continue the establishment.
I know more. What is normally here? He's a merchant, though, so he's probably out at his stall if he's not here. Somebody's got something going in the background.
Oh, sorry.
Alright. Tell you what. You bring him back here. You agree to bring him back here and make him pay his money. Pay me his money. And I'll tell you where he probably is. Deal?
It's like side quest palooza.
I have no problem with that.
Excellent.
I cannot guarantee that he will come, but I shall do my best.
I'm sure if someone as persuasive looking as you asks him, he'll come.
Shall I give a small nod of understanding at the terms?
Do you? Do you really understand them, Sylvain?
Not really, but I will insight that just in case. No, not at all.
Alright. He's down by the docks near here. You can go find him. He gives you street directions to some docks near here.
Does the stall have a sign?
No, But creatively enough, as a man named Salt Baron, he sells salt. He is the only one in the city.
He's got a monopoly on
noted.
salt. That's amazing.
Medieval times.
So, I promise you, you'll be able to see and smell him.
Gives a slight smirk at that, but gives a nod. Thank you. I shall be sure to bring him back as best I can, and hopefully buy a drink.
Yes, I'm sure you will.
She'll give a nod and nod to Serb and the rest, and start heading towards the door. Actually,
Alright.
I might have a...
I'm gonna swap back to the Blade Bazaar guys, if that's okay.
Yep.
For a sec.
Unacceptable.
Blade Bazaar people, what have you decided to buy with your new money?
Spike
Ice
armor.
is getting spiked armor.
I would like to purchase studded leather armor first.
Okay.
That's the easy part. I will lend him 4 gold pieces for his spiked armor. And just double check something. How much are arrows? I also want to buy a second quiver of arrows, so I have plenty of arrows.
Excellent plan.
Only 1 gold piece, and then last but not least, I want to sell some stuff. Specifically, I have some torches I don't need.
Oh, how handy. Do you have prices for all of these?
For the torches, you mean?
Yeah. For
Yeah,
pretty
they're-
much everything that you're buying. I don't have the table on hand.
Oh yeah, no, I do. I figured that out. The
Okay.
arrows are
I'm
1
gonna
gold,
trust you on these then.
and the studded leather is 45 gold pieces, and the 4 is what he told me. But I want to sell torches, rope, and the old leather armor for however much I can get them for.
Okay. Sure. Let me grab my book number 4. Is there a listed price for rope and torches?
Yeah.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
Torches
Okay,
are
just
150
use that.
each. All right.
That is what you will get for selling off your rope and torches then. For your leather, take
They are
3/4 price.
3/4. I think that's 7.5. I have to look that up again. Yeah, no, 7.5. All right. I have an electrum piece.
All right, solid. Ned, are you getting anything?
More back.
Yeah. It's going to pick up the scale mail, 1 javelin to replace the one I hucked at the sushi.
Right.
Then I was thinking of getting another sword, but I need to see how much I have. Yeah, should be able to do that. And I was going to pick up a longsword to replace the one that I had to give up.
All right. So you should have the gold for all of that, unless I'm very much mistaken. Correct.
Scale mail should only be 50 gold.
Oh yeah, you're right. I was debating between that and chainmail, so yeah, it's only 50.
All right. Excellent stuff. So you all buy your stuff. What are you going to do after that?
I guess we start heading back to the whatever his face's lair to meet up with the rest of the people.
The Gorgon lair.
Right.
Actually, is there a place? I don't have enough money. Never mind.
You can always haggle. You can
Well,
try
I don't
at
think
least.
I think it'd be difficult to haggle a potion of healing down to 30.
Oh yeah,
Difficult.
difficult but possible. You can try.
My best method of haggling would be intimidation.
Okay, maybe not the best idea here. I mean, this is a lawful evil city after all, so perhaps not the best idea.
Yeah.
Honestly, what could go wrong?
I mean, as long as I don't set anyone's hair on fire, it should go swell.
Can you set anybody's hair on fire as you are now?
I can sure as fuck try.
We got torches.
Exactly.
That's fair.
It won't be as quick, but we can hold them down and get that done.
You even have a grappler. Alright, so you guys are headed back to the Gorgon's lair. Gonna swap back to the Shattered Spire people. Could y'all please roll me a quick perception check?
Oh, did you mean just the people who were on the way there?
No, who are in your group? Okay, Silme, you notice Bupido, Smiley, trying to slip away from the rest of you.
Is there something wrong?
He freezes. No. Why would there be something wrong?
You seem to be going in another direction. Did you not want to come with us? Are you not going to get caught?
Going in another direction.
I am very
You're
perceptive.
crazy.
Alright, I gotta insight him. I gotta know if I put my trust in this man.
Alright.
Is there a reason you might want to lie? I have no qualms if there's something you do not want to see. I simply knowledge.
Okay. He seems to be telling the truth when he says that he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, no.
You sense.
But I totally saw him do it.
You believe him when he says, "I wasn't going the other way."
Well, I've never even doubted.
Of course not.
To give him a look like he's a senile old guy, apparently. Well, we were going this way. And she points slightly.
Ha! Gotcha. We'll go that way then. He just kind of waves his hand vaguely in that direction and starts moving.
She give a nod and start back the way she was going, but keeping an eye out for the drow, seeing that they're still around.
Right. Alright.
Speaking of, how's our drow?
Your drow?
Yeah.
Good question. He seems kind of restless. He'd be with you guys. He seems kind of restless. Actually, how closely are you looking at him?
Closely enough to evaluate how he's doing emotionally.
Okay. Roll either perception or insight for me, please.
They're the same.
Oh. Okay. You notice that he seems to be struggling with something. At the same time, you notice some strange red spots around the edges of his face.
All right. So, at what point was this guy able to pick up an STD without us noticing?
No. He just he just found his senpai. His senpai just noticed him.
It's on his face.
Yeah, underneath the cheeks. He said senpai.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
He wants senpai to notice him.
It's like around the edge of his face, so like up just below his hairline and under his ears, kind of.
Okay, so he's got like ick, like a fish would get. Let's evaluate further. He's looking uncomfortable. Is he looking around anywhere? Is he watching the Dro?
He's kind of watching everything. He's looking around kind of anxiously. What he is looking around for, though, you do not know.
All right, on a scale of 1 to guilty, where is he at?
You from your 20, you probably... I'm not going to make you roll again. Probably 6.5.
Oh, that's pretty guilty. All right. I'm going to go over to him, but he's gross and possibly infectious, so I don't get that close. At which point I kind of get his attention without having to touch him. Am I able to grab his attention?
You are able to grab his attention, yes.
Okay. So I go and I grab his attention, and I kind of just like gesture on my face as to where everything's breaking out on him. And I'm like, give him the face, like the what's going on, man? What's going on? The eyes, the eyes.
The kind of like eyebrow waggle.
Uh-huh.
Gotcha. He'll understand that. He'll kind of... He's going to deny everything. I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing... And he touches his face. On my face. There's nothing wrong.
Sylvia's gonna glance over when he starts talking. And she's gonna look from Serb to him.
He's denying a physically apparent trait.
Can I see that physically apparent trait?
I mean, Zerb's kind of pointing at it all over his face, so sure, yes.
Yeah.
You can see it.
What do you have in your face? Just kind of give him a slight glare, ew.
What are you looking at me like? What did I do to you?
I'm wondering what happened to you.
What do you mean,
splotches on your face.
What bulges?
No, she said splotches.
Splotches.
They're red.
He kind of starts feeling his face. You can see his hands go over them, but he clearly doesn't. He still denies that he's feeling anything.
Can I use? Is the longsword a shiny, reflective enough that she can use that to show him? In the.
Depends on how shiny you keep it.
In the same vein, I have a.
Well, I meant the longsword that we were going to pass off.
Oh.
Rapier might be a little bit too narrow. Who knows?
It's drow made, so. Yeah, sure. Why not?
That.
He sits silent for a very long time. Those are nothing.
Well, I believe him now.
Do you have a disease? Should I kind of
No.
give him a growth?
I am perfectly fine.
Okay, so we're gonna have to ditch him.
One sec, actually. All right. Yeah, he's still saying, I am perfectly fine. I feel perfectly normal. Syl, your insight reveals that that is exactly what he thinks is happening to him.
Ah.
He feels nothing wrong as far as you can tell. Zerb, same thing.
Well, we know something's wrong with him. He won't admit it, and he's obviously not seeking help. How does he look like he's bleeding out?
What do you
He
think is
does not look
irrelevant
like
in this
he's
case?
bleeding out. He does not. Roll medicine. See if you think he looks like he's bleeding out.
Oh.
I'm really very good at this.
Yes, I can tell. You do not think that he's bleeding out.
Okay. Run the longsword across his neck real quick, and then I'll reassess.
I stab him. Is he bleeding now?
My God! If this character was a little more evil, he is a drow, but no.
She. Thank you. She.
No, I'm saying he is a
Yeah.
drow.
Oh, yeah. He is a drow, and you might kill him because of it. Got it. I'm on the
Maybe.
same page now. We're good.
But isn't anything yet besides being super fishy like a drow would.
Yeah. Being completely serious, like, he's a problem at the moment because he's potentially infectious to the rest of us, isn't seeking help, and he served his role in our party already. Do we
That's cold.
keep him, or do we let him go, or do we murder him?
I say we keep him as long as he's willing to be a meat shield, honestly.
Actually, let me... I guess that would be a medicine to see if, like, I know what that sort of thing might be. Nope.
You can roll.
Actually,
You can roll either nature or arcana
oh,
to try and determine what it might be.
okay.
Ooh. So using.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
You're bad at this.
Wow.
Wow.
Completely
I
outside
do have inspiration, but do I want to use it for figuring out how
sick he is?
how sick he is?
This could be the onset of, like, some voodoo magic that we don't want any part of. I mean, you were seeing some trailing enchantment cloud before. This could be the physical onset of that, and we have no idea.
That's true. He might be like infectious and gross.
There's the rub. If we think he's infectious,
Which is, I'm gonna use my.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
So, Meg, you are magically inspired to believe that he is completely fine.
Jesus.
Oh my God!
Jesus.
Oh, wow. Roll 20, I'm giving you like the shame dunce cap of the dice. Dice.
yeah.
This is dice shaming to the highest extent.
Zerb, anybody want to try nature? Zerb, do you want to try something?
Yeah, I was gonna say either I can use my 11 from before or re-roll medicine just to see if I would think that was infectious. I mean, it's a blemish, but is it like a sore? Is it like bodily fluids or an open wound going on? That would be a better way to transfer that kind of sickness?
Roll again.
Damn.
Okay. There is no open wound. It appears to just be a red splotch. It's. Did you ever get really bad, really large, like red zits when you were younger?
No, but I knew a classmate who did.
Okay. It looks a lot like one of those. So it's not.
Is he going through drought puberty?
Visual wise, it looks like that. Your medicine check, however, lets you know that it is not actually a zit. But it's closed. There's no. It doesn't appear that there's any infection vector from the red things themselves. Besides maybe like direct contact with them or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably just like a matter of time before those things become very
Oh god,
easily
it's that scary
ruptured.
stories to tell in the dark thing about like the spiders crawling out of the lady's face after she was in the bath. Oh god.
Gross.
All right, so as long as we don't like rub our faces in it, we should be okay. Is that what you're?
So nobody mac on the drow.
Got it.
I mean, it's only a matter of time before those things become so strained that they rupture naturally. Like, we're gonna be doing rough and tumble stuff. He's not gonna be putting medication on it and then, soothing it away. He's probably gonna get hit in the face once or twice by falling rocks or an enemy that swings fairly well. Like, at some point, that wound is going to get opened, and I don't want to get sick from having this around us.
Somebody's gonna mark down in her notes about Drow having like red birthmarks or something like that because she didn't think there's anything wrong. Like she believed that was normal for him apparently because I suck.
Dro, come.
You don't actually believe that that's completely normal. Or you have no idea what it is.
I have no idea what it is, but
It could
not.
be totally natural.
like I said, it could be a birthmark. And she's writing it
I
down.
mean, you're not wrong.
Are they back with us yet to go and search out this guy who we're supposed to find, but now we have to find him again because he owes a debt?
Yes, they'll be back. They went to the. Yeah, they'll be back with you.
Okay, so while I'm more or less just suspiciously eyeing this guy, I assume someone wants to fill in everyone else on what's going on.
Yeah, once they came back, somebody will explain where they need to go and what they need to do. Then apparently, the guy we're looking for has a big tab at the spire.
Your friendly neighborhood drow's head begins to shake no. Even as he is still telling you, I am fine.
Well, I mean, he says he's fine, so he can just take care of himself and we can go.
Is he possessed?
If anybody else would like to roll Arcana or Nature, go ahead.
He's
I'm
an
not
elf,
proficient.
right?
What?
I get intelligence check proficiency on advantage. Sorry, oops. That I get advantage on intelligence checks involving elves. Does that apply?
Well, the nature and or
He is an
stuff
elf.
is an elf, and there's an intelligence check.
The thing itself isn't specifically related to elves, though.
All right, so it's just a straight intelligence test. I'm just wondering, because I'm just walking into the room, and they're telling me about this guy, and he's saying one thing and his face is doing another, I think he's possessed. So I was thinking more like an insight type thing.
You could try insight if you like as well.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Because I do know elves use evil magics to do stuff.
You what will this show you? You recognize with your insight that what's coming out of his mouth is probably a lie. He seems kind of agitated and not okay.
I'll turn back to Silva. You know he's lying to you, right?
He's gonna look back to him. No, she's not just so drow.
No, it's generally
I'm
not a good
amazed.
idea now.
I think that's the first insight check you guys have made on him, actually, which kind of amazes me. To be completely honest.
Zerb made an insight. It just wasn't very good.
Oh, right.
This is the first successful insight check we've made.
Yeah.
Yep. That's way more accurate.
Yeah, because I'm not going to know anything about that thing on his face, but I know he's lying to us.
Right. Sil, you can try nature as well if you want. You don't recognize it as any common disease or poison or any such thing.
Of course not.
You rolled a 10.
Just gonna kind of like glare at him, like, really? Why? Like, what's going on with him?
He stops shaking his head. And now he's just continually assuring you all that he's fine. I'm fine. This is fine.
The question comes up again. He's served his usefulness, and I don't think an extra, 30 hit points of meat shield. He's asking suspicious. Do we let him go nicely? Just give him the old, hey, it was a good run. We're gonna need your employee badge by Monday.
We also don't need to murder anyone in the street and get more stuff down on our heads and cause a bigger stir, which will probably bring in the drow and everybody else.
Separated from us.
Yeah, I don't care if he lives or dies, so long as he doesn't come with us.
Yeah.
Do the other NPCs have an opinion?
Yeah, has Eldith seen anything like this before, or any of the other?
Oh, I mean, not even if they've seen it before, because I'm assuming they haven't.
Yeah.
Just do they care if we just leave this guy behind?
Eldith's kind of against it, just on the grounds of he's helped us out. He's helped us out. We shouldn't just leave him behind like this. That's not right.
He's a drow. It doesn't fucking matter.
And he's not been honest with us.
Of course he hasn't been honest. He's a drow!
That's fair.
Topsy and Turby are going to kind of inch forward with their 17. Look at him, Turby. He's not right. There's something wrong with him.
Somebody's going to look towards Ayas with a slight arch of the brow.
Did you? I think I just turned my mic off by accident. Topsy, there's something wrong with his head. Inside it. What's wrong with your head, little drow?
I mean, if we want to look inside of his head, I guess, and then I can like crack it open.
Yeah, somebody's
Do you hear
keeping
them?
a tight grip on her staff.
Topsy asks, "Do you hear them, little drow?"
We gotta get rid of these gnomes next. They're creeping me out.
I'm almost to the point where I'm saying maybe we should just dump all the NPCs.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Sareth stops reassuring everybody that he's fine, and he gives a single nod in response to little Topsy.
Somebody's gonna look towards Topsy since she seems to know what's going on.
I think you cut out.
Oh, somebody's looking towards Topsy because at least she seems to know what's going on, and she's looking towards the person who might actually have information.
He hears them. The ones who bring the wrong.
Wrong.
In here. And she kind of points at her head.
Well, that's not creepy.
He's wrong in here.
That does not surprise me.
Ooh, good. He makes another one. Sareth gets out 2 words. Kill me.
I'm gonna go ahead and attack him.
No.
Too late.
Damn it! You can't go into like an alley or something. You have to do it like in the middle of the street. Really?
Roll to hit him.
Yep.
You hit him.
Goodbye.
You hit the shit out of him with your horns. Your 1 sec. I gotta find something real quick. You tear into his body, and something bursts.
Oh, that's all over your head now. Great. See what I mean? See? This is why you don't just go at it.
Wrong kind of burst. Less blood, more planty goodness. And spores.
Yeah, if it was
Spores.
just blood, I'd be fine.
I wasn't gonna go blood. I wasn't gonna go blood. I was gonna go something worse.
Please
Yeah, no.
roll
Spiders.
a Constitution save, everybody.
Oh god.
Oh, what the?
I'm okay with this.
DCB 10. DCB 10.
TCB2. TCB2.
Definitely not two. The DC actually is 10.
God damn it.
Demicos, you had no hope, but one of us made it.
Only one of you failed. Alright. Demicos,
Mm-hmm.
I will have a quick chat with you afterwards about what exactly this means.
Oh boy.
Oh, man.
For the rest of you, you feel the spores hit you. You feel a brief sensation of wrong. As
I
if,
think there's more than that involved with what just happened.
as if poison's poisonous. Let me finish. You feel a brief sensation of wrong, as if something is trying to settle into you. It's probably the best way to put it. Everybody appears to shake it off quickly. Oh boy. It's not exactly a poison, nor is it exactly a disease.
I'm
So
sorry, I
you
didn't.
do not detect it.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to put those in chat. I was trying to read them to see what would be applicable.
Oh, okay. You could try detect poison and disease.
In all likelihood, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Can I do a nature on that? Or arcana?
Sorry, yeah, you can try either nature or arcana again. If you please.
So you'd all hear a quick prayer go out in a very monotone and more nasally than throaty voice. That you've heard her cast one spell before, so it may not take you off guard as much. But to hear Serb talk is probably still a little odd, to say the least.
Sorry, what was that? I was typing something. You probably can't do survival for this. You have no idea. Ias, you also have no idea. Syl, you from the feeling you got from it, and from your own knowledge of the arcane, you'd recognize the effect as a combination of a little bit of enchantment and a little bit of nature magic. Ooh, Zerb. Okay. You recognize it as you know that this kind of fungus is not native to the Underdark. Even, you know, one, that it's a fungus. Two, that it's non-native to the Underdark. Three, that it's connected in some way with that it's probably connected in some way with the enchantment magic that Syl's been telling you has been floating around. Your 20 doesn't let you know exactly what it is, though.
Okay, so with the nature check and the actual casting of detect poison and disease, I would take regular precautions against fungal infections. So keeping it dry, constantly exposed, not underneath layers of clothing and whatnot. But that's the best I could do for all of us, not knowing who was infected yet. Okay, sunlight's not exactly the
Yeah.
an applicable treatment right now.
All right. Oh, you'd also know from your nature check that it seems parasitic.
That was pretty obvious.
No shit. But
That is a no shit Sherlock check.
Yeah.
Well, how is the crowd reacting? Because we didn't go into an alley before we killed him. We just kind of gored him in the middle of wherever we were, and spores flew everywhere.
I escorted him in the middle of
infected?
Ah, yes, the crowd. So a couple of Dwargard guards appear in invisibility and start shouting in Dwarvish, "You are under arrest!
I knew
Do
it.
not move, or we will kill you." As you stand there with a dead drow lying in front of you in the middle of the street.
Somebody's just looking at us. You are
And I think
a dumbass. He's using her words.
I think that is where we will end for the night.
Ooh.
And we've been.
We got a lot of good progress done, guys. We sold some stuff, we shopped a little bit, and then
You
we
got to a
murdered an
city?
NPC.
And then we got arrested for murder. Awesome.
Yeah. That's how it usually goes.
That's what they did with thieves
It's like
in this
Orsham
place.
all over again.
Wasn't me this time. Woohoo!
That's what they said they did to thieves in this city.
He's not
I
a
don't say
thief,
anything
though.
about murderers.
I saw him steal
Of course he's
shit.
a thief.
I got my boys back here. He stole shit.
Yeah, we get back, we're like, oh, there's a sick guy. Yeah, we should probably ask him not to join us. Kills him.
He was asking for it.
He
So-
did. He said, "Kill me."
Don't do it in the middle of a street.
I mean,
My God.
it wasn't really a request so much as a demand. Okay, like he didn't leave a lot of room for argument.
All right. Comments, questions, concerns? How does everybody feel about the session?
I had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
All said and done, it was fun.
All said and done, I feel like we're still in the intro section, which reminds me, did we level up?
Yes. You would have leveled up.
Woo! I bet killing the drow put us over the edge for the XP necessary.
You're
Oh
welcome.
boy.
Way to go, IS. Getting us that level 3.
You're welcome.
As far as like what we're doing in the plot, I think long term, if it's always this pace, it'll end up being slow. But I assume because this is still introduction, it's gonna ramp up.
Yes.
So that's all I had.
Partly it's an intro, and partly I'm still not sure what exactly you guys are going to do yet. So I end up planning a lot more than I have to, and that slows things down a bit.
You'll never know what we'll do. We will
Nope.
ruin any plan you put together.
Probably as
Yeah,
demonstrated
I
tonight.
honestly thought you guys were about to bypass Gracklestug altogether at the beginning of session.
No
And I was like,
way.
well, shit, there goes a
I'm
couple
gonna
hours
go
of
buy
play.
shit.
We did need to buy shit, but now that we're done
Now that
here,
we have shit.
Yeah.
Now we can leave.
Now we can get out of here as fast as possible. All that we really have to do is say, hey, he tried to pickpocket us, and then we're good. He's a drow. No one cares about him.
I mean, yeah, that's basically my thinking.
That's totally what I saw.
J-Mart, you
So
have
the-
the worst luck with the SRD.
Seriously, I've looked up 4 spells. It's had one of them.
But I mean,
But,
our options are either to claim that he was stealing, or to claim that he's, infected and that we just set off a plague in the city. So between the two options,
We go with those two.
I mean, I'm just hoping you guys figure a way out of this because I really don't want to run a second prison break.
he was trying to steal.
He was.
We killed a thief.
Uh-huh.
I was told that's what happened to thieves. I was not told not to kill anybody.
We'll see how well that flies.
You get all the advantage in the world. We'll dump our inspiration on you. We'll make sure we get out of here. Speaking of,
Yes.
I
Who
think
would we like to nominate?
I'm pretty sure Silme was the only one to use her inspiration, which is fitting because she did a pretty good job role playing.
I'll agree with that.
Oh. with writing down like insults from Undercommon.
All right. Congratulations, Silve.
I do have to qualify with I'm in love with the fact that you got 2 nat 1s with your inspiration.
Yeah. Story of my life.
That was one of the more impressive things I've ever seen.
I
I'm not
try.
quite sure
I try.
impressive's the word for it, but yeah.
Impressively
It's right up
tragic.
there it's right up there with the time I saw somebody roll a -3 on a wisdom save.
Oh my! How even?
Non-proficiency and 4 wisdom.
Wow.
We rolled stats in that game. I had a thief with 3 intelligence.
Wow. I mean, normally when someone rolls that low, they at least let us re-roll that particular one.
No, the DM was like, "Yeah, you can roleplay it out, and in return, I'll give you a couple of points to add to your other stats."
Wow.
That was the deal. It worked out well.
Nice.
I've played a character before where I only had 50 words that I knew, and if I ever accidentally used one of the words that wasn't on the list, I had to randomly roll to replace one of the words.
That could get real fun real
There's
quick.
a caveman game that's built on that premise where everybody only knows 2d6 words, and there are a whole bunch of like little important words like you, me, fire, food, night, verisimilitude.
It's a really fun way to do things, and I forget what it was, but I lost one of the really common words, and it just like fucked me up for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh man.
So, if anybody has any announcements or anything, now is the time. Otherwise, I will see you all next week.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you very much for running.
J-Mark,
Thank
can
you.
you join me in the other channel, please?
Sure.
Night, everyone.
All right, night.
Later.
Night.
Good luck, James.